Hi everyone, welcome to Embellishments on the 11th, where every month we make any kind of embellishments. So this month, because I'm using this paper pad up for hashtag Use It Up 2020, for 10 on the 10th I had made cards, and if you watched that, you saw I had some large scraps, a sheet of cutouts, which I cut all out and I only have a couple left, and another like 2/3 sheet, and I used that all up. So all I have is the remaining full papers and this in scraps, and some of these are actually cardstock I didn't use. I have one bigger cutout and then a bunch of these, maybe 6 of these little ones, but I used quite a few. So I made Christmas embellishments, obviously, and here they are. I made 17 plus a card front out of some strips I had left over, and then I actually just went ahead and made it into a card. So I started off making banners. Now these are not necessarily in the order that I did them. Well, I think these two were the first. I had 2 of these left, and it was a goal to use them up. I did use Stampin' Up's Pine Tree Punch, which is current, and this was out of that 2/3 sheet of paper. Here's a cut apart, here's a cut apart. This is ribbon I'm trying to use up, and I did use it on a couple of these, and I have this much left, so I'm sure I'll be able to finish that in the not too distant future. I did pull in some Dollar Tree buttons to use in this little jar of buttons, which is half empty, and that's about it on those. I kept them pretty simple because I was thinking I'd use them on card fronts. And this one says Deck the Halls. That was one of the brown and cut aparts, brown and white, excuse me. But these larger pieces were the sort of long pieces. So like here is part and here is part of the same strip. And that's true for a couple of them. Anyway, this is the candy canes. I did use some of the washi that I'm trying to use up, which is this one. And I actually, on one of them, I think I might have used this washi as well. I can't remember exactly. But this, I just simply, this was one of the last ones I did because I had this left over from a banner, I believe from this piece here. Yeah, it went like that. And so I put that up in the corner, wrapped washi around, had one of these little cut aparts, put one of the sugar gems on, which I only have 2 left of now, and I used quite a few. I finished all the red hearts, not on this one, and I finished some of the green hearts and little circles too. So I am getting there with the bling I had said I wanted to use up. So that's that one. This is just on real red cardstock by Stampin' Up. Here's a little scrap across the top, another scrap going down with another flag on it. This was an ornament I had punched out from the Gleaming Ornaments, I believe, retired punch from Stampin' Up. Cut apart. And then I found in my stash this Darice Baker's twine in red and white, and I didn't have it in my Christmas stash. I had it in my regular twine stash, and it was right in front, luckily. So I just put a little bow on that. And then this one, this was the piece of larger paper, washi again. And this No Peeking was a cut apart. Another little strip of paper. I had some long skinny strips, and you can see I used another piece of it here. And then I just brought in one of the buttons, and this is a piece of twine in Mossy Meadow out of this retired Festive Farmhouse cotton twine that I'm trying to use up. It's going slowly on that. So this one was another piece of this paper. Like I said, it was a long strip like this. This one I just kept as a rectangle. Put a strip of the snowflake paper, which is the same as this. And this piece of white under here is actually when I cut out all the little, like this Merry and Bright and Deck the Halls and some other ones, the brown and white sheet, I have glue on here, sorry. There were some that you couldn't use, the words weren't full anymore, so I just flipped it over and used the white side. This is a 1.5 inch circle punch by Stampin' Up. I stamped it, I cut it out of the same snowflake paper. This is all from that American Crafts pad. Here's another cut apart and some of that red twine, and this is bumped up on dimensionals. And then this, I took the real red Stampin' Right marker and just edged the part that showed. This is the retired Starburst punch, just cut out in Whisper White. Scrap of paper and one of the sugar gems. Up here, this was actually the last one I did. I did another Starburst punch in Coastal Cabana. There was a little tiny piece of the tree paper and then some of this plaid paper, which I flagged the ends. I had these two little rectangles of pattern paper. This was one of the cut aparts, and so I just layered it all up, and then one of the green hearts and 4 of the little green rounds on the back there, and that's that one. I guess I'll just go this way. I think this was one of the last two. It was a little piece of holly paper I had left, a piece of red paper, another cut apart. Oh, and this has some of that Dollar Tree, I don't know what I just did with it, gold, here it is, deco tape or something it's called. I'm trying to use that up too, it's getting there. And another twine bow, just flag that on the end. This one I left as a rectangle. I had this little piece of paper left, put the ribbon across with hot glue, which I'm not crazy about how that works because it gets bumpy. Anyway, a ribbon, and I put it all on a little piece of Coastal Cabana. This is also on Coastal Cabana. I cut the washi off, I put washi on, and then I wrapped the twine around, as you can see. I figured this is going to go on a card front or something. Santa's list is on here, and the last of the little snowflake gems from Stampin' Up, and 2 little hearts. I think those might have been either the last 2 or no, I think this was the last one. These were the last 2 or 3 or 4. Anyway, I used all the hearts up, you'll see them here. So this one is another piece of this paper. In fact, it went right there. A strip of scrap, another scrap that I put a flag on, a cut apart, a button, and then I have this gold bead chain that I had gotten, I'm sure, at AC Moore. I'm going to miss AC Moore, actually. Metallic gold pearl, 4mm. For only $2.50 you get all that. But anyway, it might have been on sale too. I don't know. I can't remember. I've had it for a long while. Anyway, I just needed some bling, so I stuck that on top. This one's all paper. Coastal Cabana by Stampin' Up. The plaid strip again. A strip of presents paper, which might have been off this same strip, I'm not sure. And then this is a cut apart, which I put up on dimensionals, and one of the little hearts says best gift ever, which I thought was appropriate to put on the gift packages. So that could go on like a thank you card or something. This is All I Want for Christmas. This was a larger sheet of scrap that I had left. See, I didn't cut that off. I had a little piece of red plaid, so I stuck it, bannered it, and stuck it underneath there. Glued it all down. 1 green heart in the middle of that ball, and 2 little red hearts. The deco tape again, and one of the buttons. And this ribbon that I'm also trying to use up, that's retired Stampin' Up. Okay, this one sort of looks like a present. This was actually either the last or next to the last thing I did. It's on Coastal Cabana. I had these odd kind of size strips and square rectangles. So I just layered them, and then I had this little one that says Merry Christmas. So I layered it, and this red wasn't big enough, so but it was big enough to go right up to the edge there. So I just put it on there and then glued it all down and wrapped a piece of this retired. This might have been from a paper pumpkin or something. I can't remember. I think maybe. Anyway, it's in either cherry cobbler. I think it's cherry cobbler. Yeah. But this is a little bit of a darker red, whereas some of the others are like a brighter. So I thought it went okay on there. And I just wrapped it around and tied a, and I see it's crooked, tied a knot, double knot to keep it there, and put that down with a glue dot, and that's it. That'll go on a card or something. Same with this one. Now this is a sticker. I've had this sticker sheet I'm trying to use up, and I used 2 off of it. This is one of them that says peace. Here's the other flower ribbon poinsettia, scrap of paper, starburst punch with a piece of paper. I actually do have a scrap of that green ribbon left over from when I tied this bow. I just stuck it under this circle. This is a 1.5 inch circle out of garden green, and then I just stuck the peace sticker on there. And then this one, I had this piece of cars and trucks or whatever, and I have this ribbon in my or lace in my stash. I just put a little piece on the end, and then I punched out another pine tree with garden green cardstock, put Christmas delivery because I thought this said delivery and it was appropriate, so that can go on a package or something. And then I did another one that says delivery, but it I put this strip of the snowflake paper on. No, this one has presents, so he's delivering presents, right? And there's a deer delivering the presents. I just noticed that. I put that on Coastal Cabana starburst punch, and then just one of the blings. Kept it pretty simple. And then of course the last thing I did was this. This is actually one of those stickers off this sheet, which I'm thankful is almost done. And then these were the last bigger strips I had. So this, and I think this and this were the last 3 things I did, I'm pretty sure. Using up whatever I could of scraps that were left. And I had a scrap of Whisper White that had an oval cut out, so I laid the strips across that, trimmed the edges so it's a little skinnier than 4 inches. And then I put all that, because it seemed a little flippy floppy, on a piece of Coastal Cabana that I had. And then this is one of the cards from the Hot Buy pack of cards and envelopes. I didn't do anything to the inside yet, so it's pretty thick on the front. And then this is that twine, and I did a double bow and just stuck it down, actually I think with hot glue that time. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed that, all my little embellishments. They're not real super layered, because I figured a lot of them are probably going to end up on cards, so I didn't want them to be too deep, but I think they still turned out really nice, and I was happy with it. So I hope you like them as well, and please be sure to check out everyone else in this collab. We post every month on the 11th. That's why it's called Embellishments on the 11th. And we also have at least one person, maybe 2, posting on Instagram and in my Facebook group, so be sure to check them out as well. Some people are doing Christmas all year long, some people are doing flowers, or whatever you want, as long as it's an embellishment. That's the deal. And the deal is also use up what you have in your stash. Alright guys, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much for watching. Hugs, love, and peace. Stay safe.